All right, so this is 5-4, and this is just factoring. It's the last three lessons that we've done, but they're just kind of mixed up together, so you got to be watching for what we're solving and making sure you're using the right method. Okay. This first one pretty specifically says what you need to do. It does say use the quadratic formula. The quadratic formula is the opposite b plus minus the square root b squared minus 4 times a times c, and then all that is times by 2a. The first thing that we would need to do is we would need to get all of the terms together. You do want them to equal 0. I'm going to add 3x and minus 5. Add 3x and minus 5, so that's going to give me 3x squared plus 3x minus 5, and that will equal 0. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my quadratic formula, and I'm going to leave parentheses wherever I see a variable, and then I'll go in and fill in those parentheses later. So that's going to be negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4 times a times c. All that is over 2 times a. Now I'll go in and fill in. I have 3 as my a, which is right here and right here. I got a 3 also as my b. And then my c is a negative 5. Okay, so I'm going to simplify, and I am going to put this right here that I'm highlighting. I'm going to put that in the calculator. I'm going to type it in just as I see it, so with parentheses and everything. And it's 3, negative 5. I get 69. So negative, oops. Get different color here. So it's going to be negative 3 plus or minus square root of 69 over 6. And now it does want this in decimal form, around wants it rounded to the nearest hundredth, so I'm going to just put this into my calculator. I'm going to go negative 3, and then I'm going to go plus, and the square root of 69. I'm going to click enter, and then I'm going to divide by 6. It's going to give me, so x equals 0.88. And I'm going to have one more where it's a minus. I'm going to go negative 3, and then minus square root 69. Click enter, divided by 6. It's going to give me a negative 1.88. Let's say solve that one. Okay. Next one just says solve, so there's probably a good chance that we can, we can do the square root on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minus 2 from each side. So it's going to give me 54 equals w squared. And in order to get rid of the exponent, I can do a radical or take the square root. So that's going to give me negative 54. It does say round to the nearest hundredth, so I can just put that into my calculator. 54. So I got w equals it says 7.348, so it's going to be 7.35, and then I'm also going to have a negative version of that. Okay, looks like this one where I can solve. You could use quadratic method if you want. I'm going to use the x method, so it's going to give me 14 and 9. It's going to give me 7 and 2. So if I add x plus 7, x plus 2, those are my factors, and I'm going to set each factor up equal to 0. Solve. So x will equal -7 and -2. Okay, so again, we're going to use quadratic formula. It's already in standard form, so we have a, b, c. So I've got opposite b plus minus square root b squared minus 4 ac all over 2a, and fill in my a values, 2 and 2, my b values, so I got 1 and 1. Then lastly, my c value, which is -9. I'm going to plug this highlighted section underneath the radical. I'm just going to plug this in to my calculator. I'm going to get 1 squared minus 4 times 2 times -9. Give me 73. So -1. Oh my gosh. Okay, -1 plus or minus square root of 73 over 4. I'm just going to plug that in my calculator. When I say that, I mean that's one answer, and then -1 minus square root 73 over 4. So we've got -1 plus square root 73. Click enter, divide by 4. It's going to give me 1.886. So is this x? Yep. X equals 1.89. 6 makes that go up. And then this last one, we'll put it into my calculator. I'm just going to go up and change sign. Divide by 4. Give me -2.39. Okay, so on this one, I want to take the square root. I can't take the square root of a negative number, so this one's no solution. This one says solve, so I could probably use square root or quadratic formula, but I'm going to see if I can do it without it. Plus 8u plus 3 plus 8u plus 3. So that's 12 and 8. So that gives me 6 and 2. And then I'm going to divide by my a value right here. So it's going to be 3 halves and 1 half. And if you see the pattern when you get to this to make your solutions, once you've simplified your fraction, you're just changing your sign. And then, let's see, let's do, this is a good one. Get a -4 from each side, so I got w minus 2, that's squared, equals 8. So then I'm going to take the square root, because the square root gets rid of the exponent. So I've got w minus 2 equals the square root of 8. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So I got 2 plus square root of 8. I've also got 2 minus square root of 8, because this right here was a positive and a negative. Plug that into the good old calculator. I can type the right buttons. So I got 4.83. And then go change this to a minus sign. Gives me -0.83. And I'm good to go. Okay, this next one is a very similar process. It's actually almost identical. So x plus 5 squared equals 8. plus 5 equals plus minus square root of 8. So let's change those first ones. So that's going to give me x equals 7.83, or negative, sorry. What number is this one? This one's 8. Oh, I lied. I got a minus 5. Okay, it's really close, but. So I got a negative 5 plus minus square root of 8. Negative 5 plus square root of 8. So that's negative 2.17 and negative 8.3. 7.83. Okay, so I'm going to minus 6 on both sides. That gives me 4v squared plus 5v minus 6 equals 0. Negative 24 and 5. So that's going to give me an 8 and a negative 3. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So that's going to give me 2 and negative 3/4. So I would write that out, but what I can do is I'm just going to end up changing these signs. So my answer is negative 2 and 3/4. Okay, we'll do this last one. Okay, so you got more. I'm just going to do 10 for you. So you've got, let's do the x method. I might do one more that's a quadratic equation too. Okay, so I got negative 1, negative 1. So my factors would be u minus 1 squared equals 0. Set them both equal to 0, which they're the same. Add 1, u equals 1. There's only one answer there. Okay, so let's see if we can find another one that is a quadratic function or using quadratic formula. And there we go. So we'll do one more of these. We got minus 2, minus 2. So 4x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. And it's going to give me a negative 8 with a negative 5, and that's not good work. We already knew that. That's why we're using the quadratic function. So I got negative plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2 times a. So my a value is 4. My b value is negative 5. And then my c value is negative 2. Simplify, I got 5 plus minus square root. I'm going to put that into my calculator. And don't forget, use your parentheses. If you don't, you might get something wrong on this one. I got 57 divided by 8. I'm going to go 5 plus square root 57. Do you want to click enter before I divide by 8? If not, it'll divide the square root by 8 and not the 5. So it gives me 1.57. And then I'm going to go up and I'm going to change. Divide by 8. And negative 0.32. So those are my two solutions. Which one is this? 12. Okay. All right.